I did meet someone a few minutes ago. He's born in Albuquerque and he lived in Santa Cruz. He's a vet and he's moved where I live. We were observing the police state as it went in front of us in the town there because unmarked vehicle, they're all over the place driving in unmarked vehicles. This is a little town, very little. It has one light or two lights. No, one light in the town, one stoplight through the whole town. And it's at the end of the road that we live on from, the Route 6 is, we live about, there's a sign on Route 6 that heads into the town because the town is really like in a cul-de-sac, meaning that the two roads that lead into it come together from one side or the other, but there really isn't anywhere to go following that. So it's like a cul-de-sac town, and beyond it, where we go, there's a road. It goes out to this huge swamp called the Okefenokee Swamp in Georgia and Florida border. It's a very, very, very large area, like 100 miles square or something like that. The swamp, or generally speaking. So anyway, so we talked a bit about a bunch of different things, and I invited him to, to do something like, let's have a talk about his experiences and so forth. He's just very aware, and he's also, he's carrying some anger or talking about how things that made him mad, but he wasn't doing it in an angry fashion. But I could see that, he had good reason to get mad, and he's aware of connabulation, I guess, whatever word you want to use. I was thinking about the monopoly related to it because the Christian has a monopoly, and Google has a monopoly, and Zuckerberg and Bezos. It's a police state that's working hand in hand with that. Where he had to drive Florida, where he is, to Arkansas because he got caught with 12 grams of, or not grams, but I forgot the amount, but I don't know, something that might be equivalent to having 12 marijuana joints. And I know that he's a vet and he's got, it's legal, but for him, medical marijuana, but I don't exactly know why he got arrested, or stopped. The police stopped him, and actually they treated him very weirdly, like hands up, and they're all like, what? Because he opened his back gate of his car to get out, and they police got all freaked out. And so anyway, they arrested him for having the 12 joints. And they said, because he was arrested in Arkansas, this happened in Arkansas, I think, he had to drive from halfway across the country almost, 800 miles to go back to Arkansas, because the police guy said, you have to come to the court date. I don't care where you're at. You have to be here, March whatever at 9 a.m. So he's, so when he went to the court case, he was really pissed. He expressed his being PO'd, but because he was a vet, I think the judge let him off. And he also, the fact that he had to drive 800 miles to do this court meeting. And then they said that they wouldn't accept his cash card. His credit card. We don't do that. Am I going to get money at a cashier or something like that. I don't know exactly how that deal went. Except they don't have cash. This town in Arkansas. I mean, it's just no morality, no honesty, and generally speaking, he didn't say this, but I'm going to go with no compassion. You know, so we've been having our internet go on and off. That's another issue, something that we talked a little bit too. The internet has gone off like one day 6 or 7 times during the day, and this has happened pretty often. And we were talking about the reasons for it. My suspicion is what it really is the 5G and the networks are controlling and using up the space so much that, yeah, if it means that the individual world internets go off a little bit inconvenience, you know, they don't care. It's not their fault. Oh, it's just there's too many people on the net, you know. The too many people would be them running their satellite network operation. And so I can't think of another logical for that one, but that's in that ballpark there. And this guy was a good person for me to meet and make friends with. And I told him that I'd lived in Santa Cruz, and he said they're putting up all these huge houses in Santa Cruz now that take up the whole block, you know, and they're right in everybody's face, and or right next door, you know, they're your neighbors. But they're living in these huge houses that were in really nice property, wooded and so forth. And these are all the guys from Silicon Valley moving down to Santa Cruz and Monterey, he says. That's where his wife's living now, I think, somewhere near Fort Ord. And so that you know, was an interesting conversation. That I was thinking of him like others, like sort of like the Warriors, the Golden. I don't know what you call us, but in the sense you could say that Warriors of the New Way, or something along those lines, whatever. But I could see that he's one of those that might identify as a warrior, and certainly identifying the war that's going on here with this. And